following show is for comedy only and is purely for the sake of entertainment. The stories, characters, and people affiliated with this show talk about hypothetical situations for laughs. Listener discretion advised.
San Quentin, what good do you think you do? Do you think I'll be different when you're through? You bend my heart and mind and you warp my soul. Your stone walls turn my blood a little cold. San Quentin, may you rot and burn in hell.
All right.
Yo, you good?
Oh my God, yeah, what a fucking fiasco. I hate Zoom, man. Ugh.
Sorry, dog.
No, it's not your fault. Just fucking Zoom, bro. Just fucking Zoom. That's how it goes. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. Well, I'm pumped to be talking to Virginia's favorite son.
Oh God, I hope not.
No, come on, man. I mean, everything that you've done for that state, man, they should be counting their lucky stars they got you.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
But anyways, so how's it going, dude? Like, what's going on with the yard?
Oh, it's going, man. I mean, it's cold as shit outside. Probably not as cold out there because you know, this is Missouri. It's fucking Virginia, so.
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, it's got some snow on the ground, but it's sunny today for fucking once, so that's nice.
What so I'm obsessed with this book. It's called Self-Sufficient Backyard, and I just started reading it because, like, I don't know, I after everything that we've been through, like in the past year and a half, I've just been thinking, like, I gotta fucking rely on myself, dude. And then we got this email from the electric company saying, like, all the Midwest is going to have like hour blackouts during the day. I don't know if we've experienced it yet. Maybe we were out of the house or something, but like that just like solidified my ideas of just like, I have to like not rely on the system so much. And so I saw all your pictures and I've just been getting fucking super jealous, dude.
Yeah, man. I mean, and that's what I heard about that yesterday. I was watching a video about somebody sent me, and they were like, "Yeah, the whole Midwest is gonna have cascading blackouts for like a while because of all the shit in Texas and everything." I was like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, how did you get
get.
started on like getting your fucking yard in order to like kind of do what is like suburban homesteading, or is it like, I don't know, do you live in the country?
Yeah, we live more in bumblefuck nowhere.
Okay.
Which is how we wanted it. Like we looked for a spot like this.
Yeah.
Because we lived in a townhouse before this. And then we lived really close to DC before that. So but yeah, we were looking for a spot like this, and you know, we had a few contenders, but this one was just like the one that everything lined up with, and you know, we got it for a Mocha, don't itch right next to the microphone. Come on, there you go. We got it for, you know, a good price for where we're at in Virginia. So I mean, it's right at the foot of the Shenandoah Mountains. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, like actually getting the house, the lady did most of the work, because she's just better with like that kind of like clerical stuff, you know,
Yeah.
than I am. She's just more organized. Like she just has more of a talent with that than I do for sure. But actually, like just getting started, I mean, I don't know, man. I've been like looking into like doing like at least an off-grid cabin, but like, you know, kind of being more self-sufficient for probably close to a decade now, just because I always found it really interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we just kind of, once we got the place and like we moved in, we just fucking dove in, man. I mean, started with like the stuff that needed to be done first. Like one of my main things was like the wood stove. I had to have that in before winter because I wanted the wood stove for one. Like that was one of my main things. Like I wasn't picky about the spot. It's like I wanted land. I wanted a spot where I could put a range, and I wanted to be able to easily put in a wood stove. Like that was my main thing. So I started with that pretty quick. Trying to think. I think that was the main thing. Also, I mean, it's not a big house. Like it's less than 1,000 square feet.
Okay.
So I had to put in a lot of shelving and stuff. But like other than that, like I just kind of went down the list and and checked stuff off. Also, we don't have any internet out here, so we have to use like our phones for hotspots. But I had Verizon back
Yeah.
then, and we didn't have shit. Like for Verizon, I didn't have shit, but the lady had AT&T, and she gets stuff. So I had to put in a cell phone booster on the roof, which is
Yeah.
my antenna, my UHF VHF antenna is now attached to. So
Okay. I read something online, like if you live like way out there, that you could do like, I don't know, like satellite and like internet phone like instead of you having service, like if you don't have any service at all and can't do a hotspot, then you can have like internet phone. I don't know how that works.
yeah, no, satellite internet's pretty much ass.
Is it? Okay.
Except for yeah, it's not good until Starlink came out. So like this year, I'm working on getting a lot of consumer debt paid off that I have just from past bullshit.
Yeah.
And then once that's done, I'm probably gonna get Starlink because I mean, all the reviews about it are fucking phenomenal. But like out here, Verizon didn't get anything. AT&T, which we have now, gets enough. Like, and that, with the booster, I just point at the nearest tower, and we can get 4 bars in our kitchen. But we had to put radios in our cars because like we live on a hill, and then once we like kind of get off this hill
Yeah.
for like 4 miles in every direction, like you don't get shit.
Damn, dude.
So yeah, so that's why I bought like little Baofangs like fucking a year and a half, 2 years ago, and I had just had like 4 of them laying around. Um, can you hear Goose in the background, like whining?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, he's in the crate right now because if he's out and Mocha's out at the same time, they're just gonna go bonkers and start like wrestling, like right in the
Okay.
background.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So I have these little fangs that I've like threw in the cars and like just got antennas and like battery deletes for, so they can just plug into the cigarette lighters.
Yeah.
And but we only had a little handheld in our house. That's why I put on that giant ass antenna that I just posted on Twitter last week.
Yeah.
Because I've been kind of like getting more into ham radio shit. My buddy is like a big ham dude. He was my ham guy when I was on Instagram too. He's the one I always sent everybody to. And then he's like, dude, stop sending me people. I don't want to deal with this bullshit. So I was like, okay. But he's programming my base station radio right now that I bought.
What do you need to start up a ham radio station?
Well, I don't even have a ham license yet. I plan on getting one simply because in the process of getting a license, you learn a lot about ham radio.
Okay.
It's not like, oh, I'm asking permission from the state. Same as like, getting a driver's license kind of thing. It's like you need to learn how to drive, and you learn how to drive when you're getting a driver's license. So it's the same kind of deal. But I don't even have a license yet. I've just been talking to him, and there's frequencies and bands that you can use without a license. So like the MERS bands, you're allowed to use without a license. And that's what we have set up in our cars. And then plus you can also get the NOAA weather radio stations too. So we wanted both of those. So because we don't have TV or internet, we just have our phones. So we want to be able to know what the fuck's going on.
Right.
Plus, just since we don't have any cell reception, like since we're right at the foot of the mountain, we get a lot more snow and a lot more ice and like a lot more wind and stuff than a little further out where there is cell reception. So I want to have radios in the car in case something happened and we could talk to each other and stuff. So, but yeah, I plan on getting a lot deeper into ham stuff. I just need the time to actually like start doing stuff for my ham license to learn more about it.
Yeah.
But ham is like really cool, dude. You can send emails over ham. You can send Bitcoin over ham. It's fucking nuts. All the
How
shit
could you send Bitcoin over ham? That sounds crazy.
Dude, it's insane, but people did it. It's like technically you're not supposed to send. It's not technically legal, but you can do it. That's the point. And it's over a high frequency, which is like UHF and VHF, which is ultra high and very high.
Yeah.
They're line of sight radios, so it's like you have to be able to see like antenna to antenna. Like you can get through some ground clutter like trees and stuff, and maybe even like a small hill, but you have to have like a good line of sight. That's why I put the big ass antenna on top of my house, so it's 30-40 feet off the ground,
Right.
compared to the rest of around us, because we just had a handheld in the kitchen before. um, but like with high frequency radio, it shoots a beam straight up and bounces it off the ionosphere, and it comes down like an umbrella.
Yeah.
So you can get way fucking more range. So you can talk to 500-600 miles with it, but also you can like connect a computer program to it, and you can send images and you can send text and stuff and emails and all this stuff like over HF on a frequency, and then whoever's on that frequency on the other end and is looking at the same like program, they get that on their end. So you can do it all without internet.
That's fucking
Like
wild.
dude, the capabilities of it are fucking bonkers, bro. I had no idea, and my buddy started explaining this to me, and like he was showing me like how on this program too, like you can, when you have it connected to the HF antenna, like if somebody unlocks their car next to it, that frequency comes across the HF antenna, and you can copy it. Like you can copy and paste it and then send that same frequency out from your antenna, and it'll unlock their car. Like it's fucking nuts, dude.
Jesus Christ. That's wow. I'm speechless. I didn't even
Dude, I
the
had
things
no
I
idea.
didn't think that was possible.
I had no idea. And I thought that was just movie shit, Like I remember seeing in fucking Gone in 60 Seconds with Nicolas Cage back in the day, where like they're on the computer in the van and they like mimic the garage code so they can go steal this car or whatever. I was
Yeah.
like, that's bullshit. You can't do that. Nah, you can do that, man.
Fucking
It's
crazy.
fucking insane. Yeah, it's nuts, dude. I had no idea how many capabilities it had. So I plan, and like with HF too, it's not like you don't need to have it like outside. So the antennas are usually really long. I think my buddies that he runs is like, and you can just make them at home. They're like, it's like 16 feet long or something. And but I could like run it along the inside of my roof in my attic, and nobody would even know I had it.
Yeah. Wow.
So dude, like it's crazy, man. It's absolutely nuts. So
Now I gotta add that to like the long laundry list I've made of shit I want to do whenever we move. My wife's actually just like right now looking at houses, and we're waiting for the loan to come back. That was one of the things that I wanted to do, was start working on the backyard, start like growing shit, and get a chicken coop. And now I gotta add that on. She's gonna be super
Yeah,
pumped
dude.
about it.
The only thing is HF is like, just for the radio, like for a good HF radio, it's like almost $500.
Oh, really?
But I mean, yeah, that's why I haven't done it yet.
Yeah, I get
Because
that.
they're pricey. Yeah, they're pricey. But again, like that's one of those things. Like when I pay off my debt, like that's one of the first things I'm gonna do. This is like, it's just, the capabilities are fucking incredible for these things. And you can even get like backpack size ones. Like you can have them. It's almost like the size of like, I don't know, like an old school cell phone.
Yeah.
And just connect to a battery and have like an antenna on a spool in your backpack, and you can do all the same shit from a backpack, like in the middle of the woods. It's fucking insane, dude.
That is crazy. So that's
Yeah,
going to be
I mean,
the project for a while.
Yeah, probably. I mean, that's at least going to be it. Like I have a whole list of like, I wrote down a whole list of shit that like I want to do this year and then just in the future, and stuff I already did. But yeah, HF is definitely pretty high on the list, just because I mean shit's gonna get weird pretty soon, I'm sure of it. So I'd rather be able to communicate with my other buddies who have it.
Yeah,
Like my one
100%.
buddy down in North Carolina. Yeah, he just bought one of these radios, so I'll be able to talk to him in North Carolina without having to worry about like a cell phone network. And I could power it off like a solar panel and like a little battery. Like,
Yeah. Jesus.
So yeah, man, they're fucking sweet, bro. They're fucking sweet. But yeah, so what kind of land are you trying to get with your house? Like how much land are you trying to get?
I don't know, man. I would like an acre, like at least. I don't know. I think I have kind of slim pickings out here because I live in the suburbs, and Jim wants to. That's her nickname. Wants to.
Mhm.
She wants to continue living close to the suburbs. Um,
Mhm.
but so my hands are kind of tied with land opportunities. I have found some
Yeah.
sick ass shit out here though, like nice property, but it's out of my reach, man. Doesn't fit
Yeah.
the her needs.
Yeah, no, I get that. I mean, you gotta have happy wife, happy life, man. I totally get that.
Yeah.
Um, but luckily that's what I liked about when we were looking at houses. We're looking at them together, so we could like we understood like what the other person wanted, you know. Because I mean, I didn't have many. Like she had more things that she wanted in a house than I did. I didn't really give a fuck about the house. I wanted the land where I could, you know, do all the shit I wanted to do for
Right.
the most part, you know. And you could do that on an acre too, for the most part. Like people homestead on an acre, 2 acres. I mean, we're only on 3.25 where we're at. Um, it's just we're lucky because it backs up to a cattle farm
Yeah.
on one side. Then we have based neighbors right next to us too, so it's like
Okay, cool.
we can pretty much do what we want.
So
Um,
what was first on the list? Like when you first got there, like before the radio station, what was the first thing? Has to be done.
well, I think the first thing that like it wasn't like originally first on the list, but it kind of fell into our lap is the lady found quail on Facebook Marketplace, and the kid was just trying to get rid of him because he was going to college. So he just had to like get him out of his house pretty much because he knew his dad wasn't going to take care of him.
Yeah.
Um, so like we found them and we had to go. I mean, we got a fucking smoking deal on them, man, because they were the kind of quail that we wanted to get. They're brown Coturnix quail.
Okay.
Um, and I'll get more into like the pluses of quail afterwards. But we got 20 birds and 2 coops for $70 or something.
Oh shit.
Yeah, dude, it was
That's
fucking.
awesome.
It was a steal, man. It was an absolute steal.
Wow.
And so we got them in, and then like got them set up in a spot, and then because I had been like talking with her about livestock. We were like quail was towards the top of our list after we did a lot of our research. And then she found it on Facebook, and we're like, yeah, let's fucking go get it. Let's do it. So so we got them, and I had to improve the hutches a little bit because he only had chicken wire on the outside, and you know, raccoons and shit can rip right through chicken wire. So I had to put in
Okay.
hardware cloth and stuff. But we got them set up, and then I found a good local company that makes feed that has a high enough protein for them. Um, so that was kind of the first thing, and then
So
yeah,
we're
that
talking
wasn't.
about getting ducks, and I was thinking that I was gonna have to build my own coop. So when that time comes, I'm gonna have to hit you up, and because I mean I chicken wire for a chicken coop. I mean that's a no brainer. I didn't think there was anything else to think about, but fuck,
Yeah,
I guess
chicken
there
wire
is.
is yeah, chicken wire is pretty. I mean, it's very malleable compared to like you know a welded wire kind of thing.
Okay.
I used to build fences for 2 years before like right after high school. So it's
Yeah.
like um so like we did a lot of wire fences and stuff. So I know which is good and which isn't good. And like same with garden fences and stuff, like chicken wire, it's just braided. And it's really thin gauge wire. So most of them can rip right through it. And raccoons, they don't even like eat your chickens, they just go to kill them and leave them there. It's like cut their
Why?
heads off, and it's like, I don't know, they're fucking dicks. I don't know. But they do that. Same with possums can
What
do
the
that
fuck,
too.
dude?
Yeah, I don't know, man. But then foxes can get right through it and they'll eat, you know, a good bit of your chickens.
So
Or
there's just seems like there's no point to chicken wire. It seems like anything that you're trying to keep out will get through it.
well, I mean, it's a good deterrent from, you know, your own animals. So like your dog or your cats or something won't try to
Okay.
go through the chicken wire. Also smaller animals like um they won't be able to get through it, like very small animals. But also it's good for like runs. It's also more so to keep the chickens in than keep stuff out. So
Okay.
like on the inside of our coop, because we had this stable that was here before we got here, and I kind of cut the stable in half essentially, and I put up a wall with a door on it, and then just put chicken wire on it, and that's to keep the chickens in the coop and not going through the rest of the little stable barn thing we got. And the barn like closes up, so it's like we don't have to worry about stuff on the inside because it has doors and everything. But yeah, it's more so designed to keep chickens in, not to keep shit out. So, and I'm because I just finished our chicken run too, and I built that with chicken wire because I mean you lock the chickens go in the coop anyway at night.
Yeah.
But then at the bottom I used hard welded wire, and and usually because animals will dig under the wire, so you want to have like at least a foot of wire bent out and going straight over into the grass.
Yeah.
And like you can get sod staples and stuff to hold it into the grass, and the grass will grow up through it and keep it in the ground. And like the roots will come over the top of it.
Wow.
And so then they can't dig through it because the wire's there, obviously.
Right.
It's welded. It's like heavier gauge welded wire. And you do the same thing with garden fences, so you don't get shit going in there. So you bend it out like that, and then just staple on the bottom. So I mean, foxes can't really climb. So if you have the bottom 2 feet of the run, with that, they're not gonna be able to get through it. Obviously, raccoons and shit, they can climb, but they're not as determined. It's just like for them, it's more of like it's an opportunity. Like if I'm here and I see it, then I can go in there and pop some heads off chickens and maybe eat a little bit, but not too much. So yeah, you have to do the research on how to build what you want, you want the coop and the run and stuff to achieve. Because if you're just trying to keep chickens in because you don't have predator pressure, then you don't have to do too much. But if you have to keep predators out and chickens in, then you gotta look into it a little further.
Okay. So $1 million question: why quail?
Quail they lay an egg a day. You can sell the eggs for way more.
Wow.
And you get the best meat and egg like ratio compared to feed, like cost wise, out of pretty much anything except rabbits, which that's next on our list is getting rabbits. But I mean, they don't eat much, and plus like when they hatch, they're good to go to lay or their meat size in 6 weeks. With chickens, you got to wait 6 months. So I can have, 4 generations of quail in the time that it takes one chicken to be like sexually mature enough to start laying.
Okay.
So, and also, I mean, it's just a delicacy. So if you want to have a side hustle of selling stuff, you're going to make more money. Everybody sells chicken eggs, man. Everybody and their mom sells chicken eggs. Not many people sell quail eggs. So it's less input and less time for me to get a dozen quail eggs than it is to get a dozen chicken eggs. But I can sell it for double or triple a dozen quail eggs than I can a dozen chicken eggs.
Okay. So I'm just concerned about protein and like having eggs every day. Why not ducks?
I don't think there's any issues with ducks. Just ducks are fucking messy as shit, dude. They are really messy. I heard. Do you listen to the survival podcast at all?
I don't. I didn't know that existed. What is it?
The survival podcast with Jack Spirko.
Just like that. Okay. No, I haven't. I haven't heard of it.
Dude is a wealth of knowledge. So he's raised, because he's just a full-time podcaster now. Like he's been doing it for almost 13 years. So, and he has like a big homestead, and he knows all the shit pretty much. And he's raised most birds. So he's raised quail. He raises ducks. Ducks are his favorite. But he says Muscovy ducks are usually the best because they're the least messy, especially if you're not working with a lot of space.
Okay.
And my neighbors over here, they raise ducks, and like same thing, they're messy as shit. So I would love to raise ducks, but I would want to put in a little pond first, because otherwise you have to have kiddie pools out there with water, and make sure they're clean. Because like if you put out a kiddie pool full of water in 15 minutes, it looks like shit already.
Wow, really?
Like it's mud, and yeah, like they're really messy.
I wanted ducks
as
because
for
they're
quail though,
resilient. I like
they're
I
definitely resilient. Yeah,
but
yeah,
are quails resilient? Like if it
yeah.
snows.
Quail are too. People do it. People raise them outside, like in hutches. As far north as I've seen in like New Hampshire and shit. I mean, they're naturally tropical birds, like they're tropical Japanese birds. But I mean, they're yeah, people raise them outside, like in New Hampshire and Vermont, where it gets to negative bajillion, I don't know, cold as shit up there. Um, so and if you Jack Spirko actually he has an episode from 2016, and it's a 3-hour full Q&A episode on like everything you need to know about quail. Which is I listened to that probably 2 or 3 times before like right after we got the birds, just like so I knew what I needed to do. But also with quail, because you said you were concerned about the protein, quail have the highest protein content per egg. Like they have a higher ratio of protein in their eggs
Okay.
than chickens or ducks. I think they have the highest egg period. Um, so they're really good for that because we like to pickle them too because they do have a little bit different of a texture than like a normal chicken egg. But I mean, if you're raising ducks, you're obviously not worried about the texture of the eggs. So
I didn't know there was a different texture. I heard they were thicker, like
yeah,
in
I mean,
consistency.
yeah, and some people say duck eggs are an acquired taste. Like I don't think so. I mean, it's just a different egg. Like just don't go into it expecting a chicken egg, and you'll be fine. And it's the same with quail eggs. It's just they're smaller, but you're able to get a lot more protein and a lot more egg production um, out of quail than pretty much any other bird. Because I mean, if you have a flock of 40 birds, that sounds like a lot, but it's really not a lot of birds. Because they're small and they don't eat much. You're going to be getting, you know, assume you have 30 females in there. You're going to be getting 30 eggs a day, and that equates to 6 chicken eggs a day. Well, actually, more like 6 to 8 chicken eggs a day.
Wow.
And you're not going to get 6 to 8 chicken eggs a day unless you have a good number, like unless you have like 10, 15 chickens at least. And that all depends on the size of the chicken egg too. Like if you have bantam chickens, which I heard they're definitely close to some of the best chickens for laying and stuff, but their eggs are smaller, so you have to cope with
You'd have to
that
eat
too.
more. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be 2 or 3 quail eggs per one bantam egg, as opposed to a bigger chicken, which is going to be like 4 or 5 quail eggs.
Jesus. Well, I mean, I haven't even considered quail. I'll have to do my research on it. I'll have to check out that one episode you're telling me about on
Yeah,
the
I'll see if I can
Survivalist
find
podcast.
I'll see if I can find the link and send it to you. I mean, the dude is just an absolute wealth of knowledge. I think he himself is an acquired taste just because he's like really, I don't know, he's pretty bonkers sometimes. But he's extremely smart, and he's an anarchist too.
Okay.
So um like he used to be like a conservative, then he kind of went conservatarian and libertarian, then he just went full anarchist because like this shit's all stupid. Like I don't even fuck about this.
Yeah.
Um but yeah, dude is an absolute wealth of knowledge on all sorts of shit, not just homesteading stuff too, like business stuff. And so I mean um yeah, so he also has episodes on ducks, he has episodes on chickens, he has episodes on rabbits. So he'd be able to go through and like glean a lot of knowledge from just going on his website, finding the episodes that are about that stuff, and then listening to him and see what he has to say about them.
Oof. I can't wait, man. But what was after the chicken coop and the quails?
Actually, the chicken coop came a lot later. We weren't planning on getting chickens until this spring, but then our neighbor,
Oh, so you
she has this
actually
weird.
have chickens as well
Yeah, we
as
have
quail.
chickens. Yeah, we have 7 chickens now. We started with 19, but they had coccidiosis when we got them,
Okay.
so we lost fucking 12 of them to coccidiosis, which was
Oh
a real
no.
bitch. Yeah, but it's something that happens with most animals. Like they're susceptible to that, especially like if and everywhere has different. So this is something that you need to know with birds too. Like everywhere has a different like kind of strain of coccidiosis, to my understanding. So you kind of have to when you get them to your place, you have to start them on like almost like a regimen. It's not an antibiotic. It's called a corid, which they use in cows and birds and stuff like that. You just mix it in the water for like 10 days. And so that'll get them through that, and they'll build up an immunity to it, and then you won't have to worry about it anymore. We didn't know that when we got the chickens. We also got them for free too. We didn't pay for them, which is why I built the chicken coop. It was like, yeah, we got free chickens. You guys want them? We're like, fuck yeah, we'll take them. Sure.
Yeah, 100%, dude.
Because they were only like 6 weeks old or something. So it's not like they were like at the end of their laying life or anything. So we're like, yeah, we'll take them. But yeah, we lost our rooster and 11 hens to coccidiosis.
Damn.
Yeah, dude, it sucked. But the 7 that we have left, they're super resilient now. Like, they were kind of pussies at first. Like, they didn't want to go outside, but they kind of warmed up to it. Now they like love being outside. And I built them a run so they could be outside more because I work weird hours at the machine shop. So I built them a run so I could leave them in the run. And once it gets dark, they can just go inside on their own volition, you know?
Yeah.
So they're not trapped in there all day. But yeah, so after the quail, I put in a raised bed right outside for just like little herbs because the lady wanted that. So I just threw it together real quick while she was at work. I'll put in a fire pit. That was one of my things too. I really want to be able to put in a fire pit because I just like, sitting outside drinking beers with the dudes and just like fucking having a fire. So I spent like $40-$50 on pavers at Lowe's and just put in one of those paver kind of fire pits. But homestead wise, I tore out a fence that was kind of in the way because I was putting in a range.
Okay. How's the range?
And it's pretty sweet. I ordered steel targets for it, like their little 33% IPSC steel targets.
Yeah.
And I got T-post mounts for them, so I just drove T-posts in the ground.
Okay.
And the people that were here already, they already had a range set up for like 22s and stuff. I was like, fuck that, I want to shoot real shit. So I put up a range. So I shoot a lot of pistols and like, my buddies have come over and they've shot with 5.56 and 5.45 and 7.62 and stuff, and it holds up just fine.
Okay.
And the neighbors love it too. Like they came over and shot at our range, like this is cool as fuck. So they went and got their own steel targets, and then and so they shoot their MCX at their steel targets.
Nice.
So yeah, man, our neighbors are fucking sweet, and they've been a big help too. Because I mean they're libertarians too, so like, and they're trying to do the same thing we're doing, but they're a lot further like livestock. So they have pigs, they got goats, they got ducks, they got chickens, they have a horse.
Damn, at that point, that's a full-time job.
Yeah, but then like they still work full-time jobs too, man.
That's crazy.
They have a ton of kids, so that helps.
Oh, okay.
They got all the free labor, but yeah, we don't have that luxury. So yeah, so they were a big help. We met them probably a few weeks after we moved in. We like hit it off, so we drink with them all the time and stuff. Like they're really good people. Like we really lucked out with them. Having them as neighbors, and maybe I'll send this to them and be like, hey, look, I'm talking you up.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then just met some of the other people. Like I think that's a big part of homesteading that a lot of people don't think about when they go into it, but you have to know your neighbors and like know your community, build community. So and then we met some of the other farmers around here, and the farmer up the street who we met is actually who I bought our wood stove from for like $50.
Okay. That kind of rolls into what is it? I mean, there was the Free State Project, and then there was the Free County Project, and I think it's kind of whittled down to the Free Neighborhood Project and growing outward from there. So that kind of plays into that, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. I mean, it's all about building community because when it comes down to it, federal government, you don't deal with the federal government. State government, you barely deal with them. The county government, you kind of deal with them. But it's like you're gonna be dealing with the community, your neighbors and stuff, way more than any of them. So you like build something with them, so you don't have to worry about the rest of the shit, man. And like tying back to what you started off with in Virginia and stuff, like that's why I encourage people to go to these meetings so they can meet the people that live around them, and so they could actually like start talking to them and get to know who's there and like see who's like-minded, and build relationships and stuff like that. Like I didn't think that these meetings were going to change anything. Because they're run by bureaucrats and politicians. They don't give a fuck about you.
Half of them were sleeping from what the videos show.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. People were like zonked out. Like there was like some of the fucking assembly people that were like 1,000 years old. I wasn't even sure if they were still alive by the end of the meeting. I don't fucking know, dude. But like, yeah, that's why I encourage people to go to these meetings. Some of the meetings weren't going to change anything. Yeah, maybe they'd send a message, but that's like the most you can get out of them, you know?
Yeah.
Like learn who lives around you and who believes the same shit you do, you know? So you have to know your community, and that's a big part of homesteading. People don't realize because they want like, yeah, I want to be 100% self-sufficient. Like, well, yeah, but that's nearly impossible. Like if you have birds, you're not going to be growing all the grain for all your birds. You're not going to be growing all the shit. Like it's not really possible to be 100% self-sufficient unless you really dedicate every bit of your time and have enough land to do it. So you need to be able to trade with people. You need to be able to talk to people and communicate with people, and have good contacts within your community, with your neighborhood. So, like, we have cattle farmers all around here. Mocha, what are you whining about? Come on, get up here. Yeah, we have like cattle farmers and stuff all around here. We have, like, it's really funny too because we live in the sticks, and people are like, yeah, that's where all the redneck racists live. But it's like across the street, I have a family of Asians. My base neighbors, they're an interracial couple. I have a gay couple that lives up the hill from me. And then I have another Asian family that lives down the street. Like, there's more minorities in this neighborhood than there is like fucking white people. So I don't know, man. It's fucking.
It's just the
I just
narrative,
hate blue
man.
check marks.
Like you can't escape
Yeah,
the
it's just
narrative.
blue check shit, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. It's just it's blue check bullshit. But anyway, so yeah, you gotta know all these people that are in your community. So I think that's a huge aspect of homesteading that a lot of people overlook, like, way too much when they're going into it. And I mean, I thought about it a bit, but I didn't think about it nearly as much as I should have. Just because we waited 2 or 3 weeks to introduce ourselves to our neighbors when I mean, I wanted to introduce ourselves right away. It's just we had just moved in, so we had a lot of shit to do. But it's like, I kind of wish we introduced ourselves maybe a few weeks earlier, because then we could have gone, oh my God, goose, stop. Yeah, we would have gotten to know them a little bit longer, gotten to know them a little bit better. And
It's really hard for me to meet my neighbor. I've actually only met one of my neighbors. The others I kind of just like glare and wave to, but like it took me a long time to meet my neighbors. I was just so from the world I came from, it was kind of us versus them. So I was very not trusting of people. So it took me a long time to meet even one of my neighbors.
Yeah, I totally get that, dude. Like we lived in a townhouse before for 2 years, and I only knew like 1 or 2 of our neighbors. And we had, on our little cul-de-sac thing, we had, 30 families living there. I only knew 1 or 2 of them, and that was just because of happenstance. Like, we were outside, we started talking, but like, it's not something encouraged to do anymore. Like that used to be a big thing. Like, you used to go out and talk to your neighbors. If they needed something, you needed something, like, you could trade, you could just, like, hey, I need a cup of sugar kind of deal. But that's not encouraged anymore, man. That's why a lot of people don't they don't really do this anymore. Hold on, I gotta deal with Goose real quick. Give me 1 second.
That's all right.
All right, I swapped the dogs in the cages now. So Mocha's in the crate and Goose is in the
Okay.
cage, so
Sorry, Mocha.
yeah, sucks. Yeah, man. So, like, community interaction just isn't encouraged anymore, and it really should be. So I think that's really something that has to be brought back. But I mean, I think it was intentional why that was kind of eviscerated from, American culture with knowing your neighbors. Like, I definitely think that was on purpose.
Oh, 100%, dude. Like, keep us divided, and so we won't know who the real enemy is.
Yeah, man. If you don't realize how much you have in common with your neighbor, then you're never going to be able to ally with them. So
that's cool, man. But
yes. So
what are the projects in the future?
Oh, I got a whole list of them, man. I got so we dug out the garden last year, like where we're gonna put the garden. So I'm gonna expand the garden probably. But right in the spring, I'm gonna fence in the whole property. Because that's something else that I learned through this. Like, and we also helped, our neighbors helped us with this because they have a truck. I only have like an SUV, so we had to go pick up fence posts. They're like untreated pine posts.
Okay.
But you can treat fence posts with like used motor oil. So
really,
We got,
Wow.
yeah, I had
Okay,
no idea. I
that's
looked it up and I
yeah,
talked to
that's
my other farmer buddies.
threw me off guard for a second. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, man. Yeah, dude, you just treat them with motor oil, let them dry, and then they're good. Like they're good for ground contact. So, um, I told them that, and I was like, listen, this guy down, 2 hours south of us, he's selling a bundle of 100 of them for $75. I'll pay for your bundle if you guys want to drive down there, and we can pick them up together. They're like, yeah, let's do it. So, we each got a bundle, and so because they want to fence in all their property too.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna treat all those posts, and plus I can get plenty of used oil from work from my CNC machine. So I got a whole bucket there. Just I'm slowly filling up.
Nice, nice.
So I can treat all those posts.
Fence in the entire property.
So obviously,
Wow, 3 acres you're gonna fence in.
Yeah, man, it's mostly because of Goose. I can have Mocha off the leash, no problem, because she has like separation anxiety, so
Okay.
she'll always stay close.
Yeah.
But Goose is not that way, so he'll just fucking run. So
wow.
But we also want to get other animals, like we want to get sheep and stuff too, mostly, so I don't have to mow.
Sheep, so you don't have to mow. That's fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you can also obviously eat them. You can get the wool from them, and the lady likes to, she likes to sew and.
Yeah, and it's just like a multi-tier solution to one problem. Like you get so much benefit out of, well, I don't really feel like mowing, so like here's this thing that's going to give me everything.
Exactly, yeah, man. And sheep are cool too. And the neighbor up the street, he raises sheep, so buy a few from him, and they're good sheep too. Like they're not. I don't know. I don't really know how to rate sheep. I don't know much about sheep, but I've been told they're very good sheep. So probably gonna just grab some from him. And they'll just do their thing. I mean, that's how they used to mow like the fucking White House lawn. They would just have sheep out there all the time.
Damn.
So I'm like, fuck, if it'll work for them, I got way less land than they do. I'll fucking do it. So yeah, we're thinking about getting sheep, and then we're thinking about, the lady wants turkeys and I want geese. So we're trying to figure out which ones that we want.
What's the benefit to them? To either one? Like what are the pros and cons here? Because I thought either one would be cool.
Really cool for sure. I think turkeys can get most of their food from the land. I think geese can too. Again, I have to do more research on it. We've been watching this one dude on YouTube who raises a lot of geese. And plus like farm geese, they don't fly away because they're too big. So yeah, they can get most of their food from, just being pasture raised. Same with rabbits. Like rabbits can get 80% of their nutrient value just from eating grass. So rabbits are probably next on the list, honestly. I think because my birthday's coming up, and I was like, why don't for my birthday you pay for the rabbits? She's like, okay, we can do that. So she's getting the rabbits, and then we're gonna tractor raise them because rabbits good, man. But yeah, turkeys and geese, we still do more research on them. But we're kind of we're going back and forth with which ones we want, and that wouldn't even be this year. That'd be a lot further in the future. But I think this year I'm putting in a pizza oven, which would be cool as fuck.
Seriously,
I want to do that. I feel like it'd be a fun project.
No, that's fucking sick, dude. That's rad. That's so fucking cool. Wow. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I'm pretty stoked for it. I feel like it'll just be a fun project. Plus, I want to learn more like masonry stuff too, because I can do like like framing, carpentry kind of stuff, and I can weld and I can do all this stuff, but I don't really know much about masonry stuff.
Yeah.
The most I did was when I built this wood stove hearth. Like I laid some tile, and that was it. Like
okay,
and that was my first time laying tile, so it's like it's not something I know much about at all. So. Plus, I got a bunch of free cinder blocks from work that I can use, so I'm going to use those. And then,
damn, best pizza I've ever had was fucking stone oven pizza.
Yeah, dude, I'm pumped for it, man, because I'm a pizza snob too. Because I'm originally from Jersey, so I'm like a pizza snob. So I feel like getting the right flour and stuff, and making it like in an actual like wood-fired pizza oven, like outside my backyard, that'd be fucking dope, man. Because it's hard to find good pizza down here, but if I could just make it outside, like fuck yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Sick, dude.
Yeah.
So what's after that?
Excited for that. We're gonna run some like we're gonna run proper utilities to the chicken coop. So I'm gonna run water down there. Well, because the garden's right next to it, so that's the main reason running water. I'm also gonna have rain catchment down there to actually water the chickens and stuff.
Okay.
And then electricity too, so I can have lights in there and everything. Because we have like the dude who was here before, he kind of sucked, so he like buried an extension cord.
Yeah.
It's like that doesn't fucking work, dude.
Yeah.
It's not how you do that.
It's half-assing it.
Yeah, he did that with a lot of shit. So I've kind of been cleaning up after him since we moved into.
Damn.
But what else? Possibly a greenhouse this year. Might want to build a greenhouse or at least like a high tunnel kind of greenhouse.
Okay.
And then I wanted to build a barn this year, but I think that's going to wait till next year. But it's going to be like a barn, garage, wood shop thing, and they're probably going to put a little gym in there too.
Yeah.
So, and we definitely want to get like a battery system here and like solar and maybe even like a wind generator too. Just so we can, improve our standing, and eventually like if we just want to be like, hey, electric company, go fuck yourself. And then they like turn off our electricity and we just kind of switch it over to our shit.
I was thinking about doing that first after this whole energy crisis from Texas.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a bad idea. But also we are going into a grand solar minimum. So I want to see kind of how that affects shit. That's like one of the reasons why this happened. Because the next, 10, 15, 20 years are going to be, the winters are probably going to be a little bit harsher because of this solar minimum that we're going into. It's just, it's something that happens. So I kind of want to see how that affects solar first. Also, it costs money, man. It costs a good bit of money. So I want to see how that goes. And if there's any other like alternatives that come out that aren't solar, like maybe because there's like magnetic generators and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I kind of wanted to half-ass it at first and do like a portable generator, and like I know they sell like solar specific things. Like when I was thinking about building a coop for ducks, now I have to think about ducks, and if not, ducks are the option. And there's like portable solar like heaters that you can put in there. So kind of like half-assing it and not connecting it to like a generator, but just like solar things for specific items.
Yeah, there's a ton of like little solar things that you can get that are like a huge help to, and like, like a grand solar minimum like isn't going to affect like that a little bit. It's like it's going to still generate about the same amount of energy. It's just it's just going to be, I don't know. I don't know much about it. I've just heard a lot about it over the last probably 6 months since we're going into it, and it's like they don't talk about it on mainstream shit. It's just like, the Jack Spirko talks about it. Other podcasts have talked about it. But yeah, for little stuff, like you can get automatic chicken doors, so they're set to a timer, and they're solar powered. So then they just charge the battery, and when it's time to open the door, it opens. When it's time to close the door, it closes, and that's it.
Nice.
And then you can get like little lights and stuff for you put a solar panel outside and it lights up the coop inside. So I'm probably going to do like that same kind of little stuff just to learn about it. But like to go on a large scale, it's going to wait a little bit, mostly because of money, but I also kind of see what happens with this grand solar minimum that's coming in. So
right,
that's definitely on the list though. I might want to dig a small pond, root cellar.
That's a fucking project.
I feel like it'd be fun. I like digging holes too. Like digging's kind of fun for me. I'm just a fucking dork.
You might be the first person I've talked to who says that digging's fun.
Dude, if I go to the beach, that's what I do, man. I just dig a big ass fucking hole. Like that's how I have fun. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna dig a huge hole, and I have like my grandpa's e-tool. Like I would always bring that to the beach as a kid. Like he had this old wooden handled e-tool. And I'd be like, yeah, fuck it. I just digging a hole. I dig like a 6 foot deep hole and be like, sweet, this is awesome. And then the day would end and I'd leave. So
shit.
Like, yeah, man.
You gonna get equipment for it? Like renting equipment?
Well, we do want to get a little tractor. You can get like little subcompact tractors, but I'd probably have to rent something for that just because it would be a lot of dirt. So like a little tiny tractor with a backhoe on it would take forever to do it.
Okay.
So I might have to rent something, and then I'd probably, if I was digging a pond, I'd do it at the same time.
Yeah, pond would be fucking sweet. How would you like? How? I don't know how you would go about digging a pond besides digging a big hole and filling it with water. I mean, do you need to like, is there anything else to it?
Well, I mean, you gotta see what kind of dirt you have under it, because if it's not like clay, it's not gonna hold water.
Oh, okay.
So, um, but they do have like these kind of this like clay powder kind of stuff that like you can line a pond with,
Oh,
and then
okay.
once it gets wet, it turns into clay and sets, and then it holds water. Um, but also like we have a dry stream that runs through there, but like when it rains a fuck ton, it
Yeah.
fills.
Okay.
So I'm like, I might just put up like a little dam kind of thing, and
Yeah.
then dig a hole, and then have a pond, so I could like, because you can grow like water plants in there and have fish in there and stuff like that.
Yeah, and you said you were
Um,
thinking about getting ducks too.
yeah, and ducks or geese or something, they could just hop in there and do
Yeah.
their fucking waterfowl shit. Um,
There you go.
and
Point for
then
geese.
yeah, yeah. So that's don't sniff the microphone, bro. Come on, what are you doing? But yeah, I mean, we got a lot of shit that we're planning on doing.
You thinking
I'm
about growing
excited for this.
any crops besides the herbs that Mrs. Trigi wanted?
Oh yeah, we have our garden is tarped right now, so we got like wood chips and leaves and stuff under it that are composting. So
Okay.
once we're ready to plant, we'll be able to take it off and it'll just be like a whole layer of compost on the top. But yeah, we have a whole list of stuff we're growing. We got all the seeds and stuff. So I was planning on starting some today, but we're still waiting for our seed mats to come in, which keep the soil nice and warm for for things like tomatoes and stuff, because they need to be warm. But
Okay.
yeah, we're growing a fuck ton of stuff. We got a long ass list, and we're probably gonna need more garden space, honestly, for all the stuff we're growing.
I mean, you got the room.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna expand it for sure. It's just digging up a garden bed when you're just using a shovel, like it fucking sucks.
Oh, really?
Because you're not digging a hole, man. You're just pulling the grass up, and it's
Oh,
just like
no.
fucking miserable. You're just kind of like scraping the surface too. So it's like,
Yeah.
fuck this. I don't want to do this. It took me
Oh,
like, I don't
no.
know, probably 12 hours to do the, like, I don't know, it's probably a 30 by 40 spot or something
Oh, dude,
that we
don't
got
say
right now.
that. That's like, I'm
It's,
so not looking forward to this now. I
well,
didn't think it
bro,
was
if
going to
you're
be that
going into
hard.
homesteading, man, you can't expect it to be easy. It's work, man.
Fuck. Yeah. Well, now I'm dreading it instead of being excited. But I mean, like, I'm still going to
Well, you
do it.
should
It's
be
just begrudgingly
excited.
now.
Yeah. It's just, well, I mean, for, stuff like that, it's just you do it once and you're done,
Yeah.
Like, it's not like, every day you're going to be out there ripping the grass up so you can, have this garden, like, and we're ripping it up for 12 hours a day. It's like, yeah,
It
just
cost
take
you
a
a
weekend,
Saturday.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, just knock it out to the size you want it, and then that's it. Or you could do raised beds. It's just, then you have to get the dirt in there. But it's like most places, it's just not, you don't need to do that. So
Yeah.
it's like, but yeah, we're gonna be doing some raised beds. We're probably gonna have two separate gardens. So we're gonna have like a vegetable garden, and then she got a bunch of medicinal herbs and stuff,
That's tight.
because we got books over here. So we got stuff for like fevers and I don't know, a whole list of different herbs. She did more of the research on that because she's in nursing school right now. So she's and she's been a pharmacy tech for like, I don't know, 6 years now, I think, something
Yeah.
like that. So she knows a lot about medicinal stuff.
Okay.
So she's kind of in charge. I put her in charge of that. I was like, I don't know shit about fuck for any of this stuff, so you can take care of this.
My wife is also a pharmacy tech for Walgreens, and we were watching Alone, and she actually was like talking about how we should go take a medicinal plant course. There's one in Missouri, like fucking 3 hours away. It's like an 8-hour course of just, hey, here are all the plants that are in the Midwest. This is what you can eat, this is what you can't, and this is what you put on cuts.
Dude, that's fucking awesome, man.
I know.
That's fucking sweet. I would love to take one of those courses.
Dude, there's a shit ton everywhere. Like after I saw that show, they were like, hey, here, like, this is the course I teach. There's some everywhere. And she was talking into the camera. And so I was like, oh, well, if we'll see if there's one around. And there's like 3 in our area.
That's fucking sweet, man. Yeah, for us, it's just a time constraint right now because she works full time and goes to nursing school. I mean, with the number of hours I work in my job, I basically work 2 jobs. So It's like,
Wow.
we just don't have as much time to do it. But also it's like that pulls in the money so we can do the stuff we want here so that we can, like cut hours later. So
Right.
it's like, it's just about, getting yourself in a good spot. And like we both, since we started dating, we've both been really into that. Like we wanted to get ourselves in a better position, just like, further out from all the shit where we can be more self-sufficient and everything.
Yeah.
But
That's
yeah,
the
so she
goal,
knows
man.
all the medical stuff and then she's going to nursing school. So dude, it's sweet, man. I mean, I've been pumped, like I've been prepping to do this for at least like a decade. And to like finally have started this year, especially like when you go from renting to owning, where you can actually do things in the house, even if it's not like a homestead, you just
Yeah.
be like, no, I'm going to put up shelves here because it's my fucking house and I want to put up shelves here, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, man, it's like, it's just a whole different experience and it's exciting, man. It's definitely exciting. So yeah, man, we got a whole fuck ton of projects.
Damn.
But yeah, man, I mean, I'm excited to see what she can do with the medicinal stuff too. Plus, I think they're gonna legalize weed here in fucking Virginia.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're legalizing it. I know it passed the House and the Senate. Um, and then they have to go like, because I guess they have their own bills because it's the fucking government. So the House and the Senate both pass their own bill, and they have to go to each other's houses, and then they both pass each other's bills or whatever, and then they have to go to the governor and get signed. I don't fucking know. It's dumb as shit. It's like, guys, just fucking.
It's a plant that
Just say we
grows
can
out of
do
the
it,
fucking ground. Like, come on, man.
right?
Just let's
Like,
speed this
just let
shit
us
up.
do it. And it's dumb. It's like, and you can grow up to 2 plants in your own house. Like, okay, fuck off. If it's legal, I'm gonna grow whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
But so I mean that'll be pretty cool. Be able to do that kind of stuff too, which will also make growing hemp a lot easier because they regulate the fuck out of hemp right now. Like if you're growing hemp, you have to cordon, like you have to get a permit from them to grow hemp, and then cordon off where you're growing the hemp, like on a map, like
Yeah.
with GPS coordinates. So when they do like their bullshit drug
Wow.
flyovers all over the place, they're like, no, that's hemp right there, it's good. And then they like, then you're susceptible the THC content of your hemp, and if it's over a certain amount,
Wow.
even if you didn't intend it to be, they just destroy your whole crop. It's fucking ridiculous, dude.
Holy shit, dude. Do you know how much
Yeah,
do
man.
you know how much money that operation would cost? Of just
Way
the
more than the cost of
flyover.
the hemp, bro.
Holy shit, dude. Oh wow. That's
It's just bullshit
excessive.
too, because that shit used to just grow fucking everywhere. Like you would drive by it, like it'd be growing into the ditches on the side of the road and stuff.
Yeah, when I did
And then,
my war on drugs essay, there was a huge operation, I can't remember when, but they like just went across America and just fucking took a flamethrower to the sides of roads. Like Jesus,
yeah, they
man.
use the military just to kill all the hemp because God forbid you're smoking the reefer or something. Like fuck off.
The jazz cabbage. Um so if they legalize it, are you gonna grow hemp? Like what can you do with hemp?
You can do a fuckload with hemp, man. You can make clothes out of it, you can make rope out of it, you can get the CBD from it, you can build bricks out of it. I mean, it's such a versatile plant, which is why it's been like illegal for so long.
Yeah.
Because it
Well, it
goes
threatened the
into
paper company.
yeah. William Randolph Hearst was like, oh, this is bad news. We got to do something about this.
Yeah.
So it's like, fuck off, dude.
Damn, dude. I'm gonna have to think about. I have a lot of shit to think about. Like I'm just kind of I shotgun blast of information. I really appreciate you coming on and talking to me about this shit, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, sorry, I was kind of all over the place. It's
Oh no,
just
dude.
it all kind of ties into everything else. So it's just
Yeah,
like, but
but
yeah, I'll see if I can send you the links to, well, for one, the survival podcast, but also like that quail episode, and then something to look into too is rabbits, man, because you can just have them in a little like a lawn tractor kind of thing,
here's the
and they
thing
just
about
get
here's the
80% of their food from eating grass.
here's the thing about rabbits, man. So I've literally in my office like a foot to the left of me is a rabbit right now, and fucking
Oh yeah,
the lady bought a pet rabbit because she thought it looked cute, and it was just like, hey, I know that we can't make decisions without talking to each other, but we own a rabbit now. And so I've talked to her in the months after about like, hey, like this would actually be a cool source of food, like if we really need it. And she was like, nope, it's fuzzy. This isn't going to happen. So go fuck yourself. So that's what I'm dealing with.
It's all right. If you guys get hungry, you'll be able to eat it. It's fine.
Yeah, I'll have
Yeah,
to
man, I mean-
I'll have to press down on her about how delicious rabbit is apparently.
Yeah, rabbit's good, man. Rabbit's really good. Because I hadn't had it before I was down here, so I went out with 22 and just shot a rabbit in the yard, and I was like, all right, let's cook it into something and see what happens. And it was good.
Fuck.
It was pretty sweet, man.
Damn.
Yeah,
I'll have
got the
to
hides too. I kind of want to make a pair of moccasins. So
make a pair of moccasins. That'd be fucking tight,
yeah,
dude.
right. That's what I'm saying, man. You can use it all. So plus, I mean, you don't really have to pay anything to feed them, man. I mean, you give them a little bit of food, but like they just eat grass. Like you get a bag mower, even if you keep them in cages, like you get a bag mower, you mow it, and you throw grass, and they're gonna fucking grass for a week.
This piece of shit just eats pellets and hay. Yeah, I could probably pull that off.
I bet if you gave him some grass, he'd probably be digging it, man.
Yeah, he'd
be
freak
pumped.
out. But yeah, man, I'll have to push for rabbits because that sounds tight.
Yeah, man, it's pretty sweet. I mean, the same way you guys got rabbits, that's what happened with Mocha in our family. She just kind of, the lady always wanted her German Shepherd, and so she brought home a dog. And I was like,
I would have been more
happy
happy with a dog.
No, I get that. I definitely would be more happy with the dog than a pet rabbit. But I was a little upset at first. So I was like, because at the time we lived in like a 500 square foot apartment, and I was like, "What are you doing? Why did you bring a puppy into our apartment?" But obviously, I love that dog more than life itself. So it's like, all right, it's cool, man.
Yeah, dude, you've been showing the internet the correct form of the boob.
Oh yeah. Always gotta make sure people know the difference between a boob and a bonk, bro. There's a big difference.
It's a huge difference. Get your shit together out there.
It's a big deal. Yeah, come on, Luke at Biting the Bullet.
I wasn't gonna say it. I wasn't gonna call him out, but yeah.
Oh, Luke. I'll call him out. I call him out all the time. He doesn't like penguins either, and I'm still upset at him for that. So
wow, that's not something I knew.
Yeah, he talked about that in one of his episodes, how he thinks penguins are stupid. And
he's basically a bad person.
Forget it. Yeah, he's an atrocious person. He's literally the worst. Love you, buddy. Love you, Luke.
But all right, man, I really appreciate you coming on. You're not on Instagram anymore for very obvious reasons, but you're on Twitter. What are you on Twitter as?
Yes, sir. I'm at Trijiconfucious on Twitter. Pretty simple.
Gonna reach out to Gab or
I think it was
Parler?
Instagram. Nah, I'm pretty over social media at this point. Twitter's just like dumb as shit. So it's like, whatever. Fuck.
It's a nice release.
And I had one already, so I was like, yeah, if I just want to yell at some people, I can just go do it on there, you know. But yeah, just on Twitter at Trijiconfucious. 8 Instagram accounts was enough for me, so I was done with that. Yeah, so you can find me there. I mean, you got any questions about homestead shit or quail or anything, you know, let me know. I'll be happy to answer them. And of course, I'm Jay Flintlock. Thanks for listening again. I don't know why y'all keep listening, but I appreciate it. See you next time. Peace.